Very few people appreciate the input. Even there are marketers that just want to focus on the creative side. It's like we need more operators. We need more people that can build and execute systems in marketing because if you want to scale it, you have to have a system.
Sharp strategies, sweet success.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Sharp Strategies, Sweet Success. This is your host, Tiffany Swedensky, and today I am here with the wonderful Cassidy Lewis. Cassidy is the CMO for Cooper and Hurley. I've known her for many years. She's an excellent gal. She does a lot of speaking and she does a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. You can go and find her there and probably a ton of other places too. So I'll turn it over to Cassie so she can do a better job of introducing herself. And today we're talking about marketing systems and marketing operations. So I'm really excited.
Thank you for having me, Tiffany. So, hey, everybody. As Tiff said, my name is Cassidy Lewis. I am the Chief Marketing Officer at Cooper Hurley Injury Lawyers. Been there coming up on 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Been in marketing for about double that and fell in love with legal marketing just because of how challenging it is. And I get to pick Tiffany's brain whenever I want, so you can be jealous of me.
I love it when people pick my brain. I'm not too sure that many people see it as a privilege, but I appreciate it. So, yeah, we're talking about marketing systems, marketing operations. I talk about it sometimes on LinkedIn, although the thing I fear about posting it is that lawyers don't get it. They don't see marketing as a department. And so really most attorneys want to minimize how much they're spending on marketing. They don't want to like grow big teams and grow big systems because that just means you're having to maintain the investment of this marketing team. But I feel like it's like as marketers we should be talking about it, definitely.
Yeah.
And then the attorneys, need to know like how we're running these departments.
Yeah. I think people look at marketing and they see the output, right? The pretty creative, the video, the graphic, the event, and or the increase in referrals. That's a good one for as far as systems. The increase of referrals. And it's like, oh yeah, that happened. And very few people appreciate the input. Even there are marketers that just want to focus on the creative side. It's like we need more operators. We need more people that can build and execute systems in marketing because if you want to scale it, you have to have a system.
No. This is a story from a couple years ago, but I was working with a marketer who had marketing experience, but it was really light. I think they worked for a golf course briefly. And we ended up actually having to let them go. They weren't a good fit. And part of the reason for that is every meeting we had with them, team meeting or otherwise, that's all they wanted to talk about was what color are we using on this? How can we change the logo? Can we redesign this page? And we were all like, hey, we need you to call these chiropractors or make a mailing list or do something. We don't get to spend all day talking about creatives. And that for me is like the major misconception in marketing. I think
Yeah.
most people see it as Mad Men or something. Never actually seen Mad Men.
I haven't, but I keep being told that I'm supposed to watch it because I'm in marketing.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
No, yeah, I think that see, and I haven't seen it as much from marketers, but I have seen it, but I've seen it because we're in legal from attorneys. They want to talk about the color or the even sometimes the placement. And it's like we're just not even that's cool. We can discuss it. There are just these 716 things that we have to check off to make sure that this does what it's supposed to do. There's the systems parts, there's the operations part. I am currently hiring for a senior marketing manager, and we are sort of leaning, I'm working with a recruitment agency. We're leaning towards project managers. I don't, and maybe you and I dismiss it, and I say this sometimes, the creative side. It's not that I don't appreciate it. It's just that it's the systems and ops that I need more than anything.
Yeah. I work with law firms who don't have in-house graphic design teams, like effectively we're their in-house graphic design team. But even that's hard for us, sharp cookie. And they have, I guess I would say, like ugly marketing, but they have functional marketing.
Hmm.
And, ugly websites can still convert, can still convince people like you're a professional. And so sometimes the more subjective things are just much, much less important. And, but then you have law firms that do have creative teams and they do get to spend more time. And if you put your graphic design in the hand of a professional, like somebody who knows it, I find it's just better to trust the instincts of the graphic designer even over my own instincts. And
Hmm.
so, like high level conversations about subjectivity and design, like at the leadership level, I feel like gum up the works more than they actually help us get like a pretty product. Yeah.
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 So you mentioned wanting to hire a project manager. That's something that I was thinking about going into this podcast because I myself pretty much do a lot of project management. I'm project
Hmm.
managing for my clients' teams and I'm project managing for my team. And it's most of what I do, delegating and assigning tasks and making sure things are staying on track. How are you doing that now?
I'm doing it. And it's not what I get paid to do as a CMO. I'm supposed to be focused on high level strategy, strategic partnerships, things like that. And right, like for example, right now we have 4 attorney events coming up. And there's the event, right? But then there's the promo items that I need to make sure that I will delegate, say, hey, make sure this is ordered, but then make sure this is ordered by this date. And then let me double check that contract to see how many people we can actually fit in the room and what they'll set up. And then, oh, did we order the valet, the catering? You know what I mean? It's me right now, and I don't get paid to do that. And my boss has been very clear, if you know Jim Hurley, that I don't get. That is not what he's paying me for. So yeah, right now I'm doing a lot of delegation and a lot of sort of task checking.
Yeah. And I saw like a quote or somebody smarter than me yesterday, like in a video or something, basically saying like, you can't be a high level thinker and also be like in the weeds of it all. And that's so hard. And also why like so many attorneys like tell their marketers, bring me ideas. And then they
Yeah.
don't because they're the marketers on the hook for implementing them. They're in that execution mode.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, yeah, you need somebody who has the time to be that high level thinker.
Yeah.
And that's just end of story, I guess.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm sure. Did you read Deep Work? Have you read Deep Work
Oh,
before?
it's been a while, but yeah, I read
Yeah,
Deep
but I
Work back in
mean,
the day.
yeah, you cannot focus with that amount of intentionality without hours to give it. It's like I will choose a day where I'll exit out an email, I'll close my door, I'll put a note on my door, like do not disturb, and it's me and my whiteboard and I'm going at it, and the best ideas come from that. And I feel disconnected from my work. Like I know I'm not being a good CMO like right now in this season because I haven't had one of those whiteboard sessions in a while. Because I have right now, since I told you I was out sick, I have about 62 emails that need attention. That's not spam, not like, oh, like I've already gone through and cleared that out that need attention because I'm the project manager right now. And again, if you are an attorney listening, please know that marketing is a lot of good marketing is a lot of project management. Your marketer is not lying when he or she said it took them X amount of time to get something done. It is a lot of work. And then the reporting, like that's the before, but then the reporting after, it's so many pieces. There's so many pieces to it.
You touched on something that's interesting to me, and I talked with Tony Albrecht about it. How long does it take to write? And I asked him like, hey, how long is it going to take you to write like a LinkedIn post? Like, is it something you can whip up in 15 minutes, or do you have to sit with it? And he was like, oh, somewhere in the middle, like 30 minutes per post, which if you're outside looking in, you look at a LinkedIn post, it's like this big, it's, short sentences. It doesn't seem like a lot, but to get the kind of results that he gets and that other people who are great at LinkedIn get, you have to, spend some time with each word and make it work well. And for me, getting back to the point I was going to make, but I think when we ask marketers, like, how long did it take you to write this? And we're talking, like, let's say about a full email newsletter, they don't want to say it took them 2 hours, but it probably did take them 2 hours
Oh yeah,
because,
easily,
oh, yeah.
easily, easily.
And you're getting weird feedback from them because they don't want you to think that they don't know how to write or they're taking too long to write. And then, the attorneys get kind of an incorrect picture of how long creative work actually takes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, for sure.
Mm.
So, something that is always hard, and it's hard for me too sometimes, is just documentation. Because I feel like a lot of people want to build like a marketing manual for a firm, but and hopefully my readers won't just immediately turn off when I say this, but I don't feel like a comprehensive marketing manual is possible for a law firm. You get a lot of task and processes maybe, but you're never going to get like, here's how we do marketing and just all in one shot, one go, and they use it too. I mean, how are you guys handling it, or do you disagree? Am I just kind of being jaded about it?
No, I think it's so fluid. So I think that even for like the tasks and processes, something should be added to that list all the time. Like if you think about like the maximization of, right? We're in the middle of vote for school. We give schools big dollars, like over $17,000, blah, 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 right? But that task list of things that gets done for that should have increased from last year, right? We did those 22 things. What did we learn? Maybe one or two of those things come off, but three things get added, right? So it's already fluid. And then for sort of how we do marketing, do not tell my team I told you this. So we do every November, their marketing action plan is due, right? And it's basically what you are going to do that next year. And it's broken down by month, right? A lot of like questions. I make my team, they're required to be curious. What are you going to challenge? What are you going to break that, like things like that, right? But I'm thinking about doing it like quarterly as opposed to annually just because so much stuff comes up. Like, and then we reroute, like, oh, you know what? We found out, we thought we were going to do this in October. We found out in February it's a no-go for whatever reason, or it doesn't make sense. Or like AI overviews hitting us in what was it, February? I don't really have a lot of that in my strategic plan for 2026, but I'm paying attention to it. I'm reading up on it. We found out, oh, and LLMs care a lot about badges. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, should we be making this quarterly? And again, I hope my team is not listening, but I think there's a lot of merit to what you're saying. It's just marketing can be very fluid in a year's time.
Oh
It just
yeah.
can be.
I mean, digital things change all the time. Things change and then they don't change
Yeah.
because AI is still, good SEO practices and things like that. So I came across a site last night and their offering for law firms is we build your marketing automations. And, basically you come to them and say, I want to build this automation, and they'll do it. And that's kind of their pitch. I don't think it's a super strong pitch. I'm always curious what the attorneys think, as far as like what they're interested in, what they think they need help with. But for me, like automations and stuff like that, like I just can't conceive of that if you're doing it at a certain scale, like outsourcing that. Because within the automations that we make, like we're constantly testing forms. Good SEO companies do the same thing, always testing their forms. And you're always looking for those breakpoints, right?
Right.
Just where things go wrong. And I don't know, like that's like are you guys like thinking about, are you thinking about automations a lot? Are you building a lot? Like how are you guys handling that?
Most of our automations are around our database, right? So, and I'm not even going to get into just having a database our size and the issues that it presents. And yes, I'm thinking about it, but also running into every hurdle possible. And I couldn't envision, and we're working with a company, right? Um, I couldn't envision outsourcing that without me leading that project. because Derek, the guy that we're working with, could never know when it was right.
Yeah, that's
Not on
true.
his best day, and he's intelligent. So I'd just be interested, like, what marketing automations are you talking about, from contact form to lead software or database? Like, I just want to, like, what marketing automations are you saying? And then yeah, the testing part, we have a report where all of our contact forms, our chats, our integrations get tested the first week of the month.
Yeah.
And if
And
you're
that's,
not a part of building that, do you know to even go test that, or do you know when it fails? Oof, that
you
sounds
have
scary.
to,
I don't know.
yeah, you have to test, just constantly test and invite, everyone who's looking at the site to openly point out issues. Because on a big website, a ton of stuff can happen that even the SEO teams overlook. And SEO teams, website teams, whoever they are, vendors, their employees are not attorneys, paralegals, case managers, intake specialists, marketers. They're SEO specialists or whatever they do specialists. And so, like, they know what they deliver in terms of product to, their clients, but they
Mhm.
don't know marketing. Well, I don't want to say they don't know marketing a law firm, but they don't know your needs. They don't know your specific needs. And if you're doing a lot of dynamic marketing and you're doing different things from your competitors, like, you're just going to be hard for that vendor to handle, because most vendors, I feel like, want to keep you on a template.
Oh yeah.
But, so it's you have to have this like synergy between the in-house team and the external team just to bring it all together and to actually make it work. Are you meeting with vendors like pretty regularly?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes, I meet with my vendors. My SEO team I meet with every 2 weeks. My ad agency who does my TV and billboards once a month. Yeah, we meet with them. And then I think it's coming up in the next 2 weeks. I have what's called a meeting of the minds. And it's all of my vendors, or my primary vendors, and I tell them that they are our board of directors. And so we get on a 90-minute Zoom, and I say, this is the goal, right? Right now, our goal is to bring in top cases. Our goal is to expand to the peninsula. And then we need to continue this increase of referrals. Our referrals have done extremely well these last 2 years. And, how do we get better at it? Tell me what we need to do. Maybe it apply, maybe, yeah, you do TV, but maybe it applies to TV, maybe it applies to digital. What do we need to be doing? Because I think the synergy between in-house and the vendor makes sense, but also vendor to vendor synergy makes sense. You may have three, four, five vendors working on your marketing, but you have one brand. You have one voice, and that voice has got to be succinct. Nothing frustrates me more than realizing we did something, in the community, for example, and I told digital, but I didn't tell TV. And my TV team, while they run ads, they also talk to the TV stations. And you know how you get like the local shows, like Hampton Roads Live and all that. I didn't tell them, and so they didn't tell the Hampton Roads lot, and I missed an opportunity. So just having synergy amongst them makes sense also.
There's just so much to keep up with, like synergy between the vendors and making sure the community efforts gets to this person, gets to this person. And I mean, it seems like, oh, it's just a simple email, but you're keeping up with it and doing it for every project. You're doing it for, every vendor. And I mean, I could totally see, I mean, shoot, maybe myself, I need a project manager, and I can definitely see why you need a project manager. So, how far do you plan ahead? I feel like I've asked you this before because every time I talk to you, my impression is like you're years planned in advance. And I don't know, maybe that's just my impression.
I and I don't know if this is the best way to do things. Planned ahead in the sense that, like, I know right now today, and I knew 3 months ago that we are going to do a client event next fall, right? That's an example. I sit with my ideas because the idea of the event, where it's going to be, again, that part's sort of easy to me. But like, how do I make it? You know what I mean? And so, like I said, we do that that plan for the following year is done in November. So I'm typically about a year at least planned, but Jesus, do things pop up all the time. But yeah, I do like to sit with these ideas because I'll have a goal. Like I know what my end goal is. The event is just, or I guess I know what the strategy. The event is just a tactic. It's just a tactic. Like we could do it, we could not do it. The strategy is still there. But yeah, at least a year in advance.
Yeah. And do you put it, well, like, do you put it on a calendar, project board? Like, where are you storing that stuff?
The marketing action plan is the primary place for that. So it's such a simple document. I used to write these 10, 20, 30 page marketing plans for businesses and they wouldn't use them. So I created a marketing action plan years ago and I still use it and I teach those that are in the CMO Academy how to build and how to use it. But it's literally just the month, the date, the project, and did you complete it or not? Right? And it's the steps, it's a system. So let's say we'll take the event, the client event, and I think I'm gonna do it in October of next year. Well, by in March, under referral marketing, I have something like book the stage for the event. You know what I mean? So it's the system parts that often get missed, the systematic or the operation parts that often get missed. Or maybe in April, I have, did you book the host or did you book the music or things like that? Because this is a really big referral marketing event. It's important enough to put into that marketing action plan for me to make sure that it gets done in March or April or whatever it is.
Well, I don't mean to change topics, but I did have a question about your marketers, and I don't. I think it might be have been a while since you guys have hired somebody new, but well, so question number one, like when you're bringing on a new marketer, how much training are you doing for them, or setting up for them, or putting them through?
So there is an established 12-week program. Okay. There's a 3-month program that they do where we cover different topics, things about the brand, how we say things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it takes an employee about a marketing team member about a year to really get acclimated to both the Cooper Hurley Injury Lawyers way and then also working with me and that standard of no, 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 no. We're not doing that last minute. We're not doing that haphazardly. We are going to do it the right way. We're going to do it on time and things like that. I think it takes about a year of training and just seeing myself and my team operate all of our events, both large and small, or campaigns. I'm saying events, but or campaigns for a year to say, oh, okay, that's how it gets done.
And what about, like, let's say you hire a graphic designer. You're not training them on graphic design. You're mostly training them on culture and processes, right?
Right, right, right. So like if let's say I hired, and we did for a while, we had a creative coordinator. She did design, videos, things like that. I can't teach you how to design, Tiffany. I can't write my name neatly. I can't teach you. But I can tell you, I can talk about the psychology of an ad, right? And how we need to make sure that our ads are not busy, that our ads are professional, that professional but casual. I can teach you that. But then I also have to teach you the systems part because if that ad goes nowhere, who cares, right? And so for me, if for the creative coordinator that we had in house, her job was to also make sure that that ad got all of the places that it needed to get, right? So maybe it's going to Virginia Lawyers Weekly. It's going to be attached to a press release. All of the places because design doesn't mean anything if it's not maximized. So that is one of the requirements that I have. Maybe everybody doesn't have that on their designer, but if I'm bringing somebody in-house to do design, you were also going to make sure that it gets maximized on all of the platforms and the YouTube shorts or whatever it is.
Do you ever buck up against like a new hire or somebody from the legal operations team trying to insert themselves in marketing? Do you ever have to kind of set boundaries in that way?
Uh, it's been a while. It's been a while. So, and it wasn't, we had an attorney one time that told one of my team members to do something in our Google business profile and we got shut down.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. You remember Google business profiles used to be even more sensitive than they are today. You remember that. We were
Yeah.
struggling together. I don't see it a lot. And this is, I feel like marketing departments and law firms are isolated. You know what I mean? Especially if you're a one-man band. You're the odd one. You're the only one in the firm that doesn't work on cases in some way, shape, or form. Even the receptionists are routing calls from insurance agents and insurance adjusters and clients and all of that. So I didn't deal with a lot of that. Now, and he'll hear this and he'll say, I'll talk bad about him. My managing partner, well, if he has a marketing mind, but sometimes it's like, that's not the route that we're on. That's not the path that we're on. Now, that's what I hear about a lot from other marketers is we have this clear vision, this clear strategy, this clear goal, and we are on it. And then a managing partner comes in, hey, why don't we spend $100,000 on this stadium partnership? Where's the money coming from? Oh, we'll just pull it from LSAs. Yeah. But no, I don't think I've dealt with it in mass in a long time though.
I talk to marketers who deal with it, and it's come up with me before where, and it's very similar actually, that what happened recently is very similar to your Google business listing getting shut down temporarily. But we had like a creative that we were pushing out on social media. It was really low stakes, and I don't like tend to micro analyze these things. But somebody else at the firm, somebody in operations, went to the marketing manager and said, "Hey, I need you. We need to change this on the ad." And they changed it. And then we saw the ad, and actually it wasn't me who called it out. The attorney beat me to it. Where the owner said, like, "Why are we doing that? Why do we make that change?" "Oh, well, so and so told me to at the firm." And it's like, well, they're not in charge of marketing. That's not part of what they do. And so run it through Tiffany. Run it through Tiffany before you go making changes. And then very commonly, like you have a partner or associate who, and it kills me because like I want to help them. Like we're marketing for the firm, and by proxy we're marketing for the associate attorneys, and I understand they're invested in their own future, but they just don't know. And like they
No,
can come in and accidentally blow something up or make a campaign go from "this would have worked" to "nobody's going to care about this ad now."
right.
um
Yeah.
and I feel like if you're like if you're a small law firm and you have like maybe a marketing person or a half marketing person, like you are in charge of the marketing, like you are in charge of all those decisions. And when you bring on like a marketing director or marketing coordinator, then they're in charge with you, you're still leading them. And then when you have a team, it becomes more siloed, like you guys have at Cooper and Hurley. It's probably easier to put those boundaries up and say, like, no, like this, we're the marketing department.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The,
think when
the
you're, oh, go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say that trust thing because what one thing that I hear a lot is the marketers don't feel like their managing partner trusts them. Like the managing partner is still the CMO or the marketing director. And it's such a balance because I don't want my doctor doing my plumbing. My doctor's a great doctor, but he's not a great plumber. And I say that to say you could be a great attorney and a great business owner. That does not necessarily make you a great marketer, right? But in that same breath, what I try to explain to the marketers too is that you have to earn their trust. You are speaking for their brand. We, as the marketers, we speak for the attorney more than the attorney does, right? Our ads, the LinkedIn posts, the social media posts, whatever it is. And so you do have to earn their trust. And I think, again, why I don't see it as much is because I've been there going on 8 years. And it's not that, I say, bring me your ideas. Anybody can bring me a good marketing idea. But if I say that's not the way we're going, that's not how we're going to word that. That no, we're not going to put your dog in the commercials this time. They're like, okay, well, I think it's good, but if you don't, so there has to be sort of this balance where you are showing consistency. Because I don't think attorneys are just naturally trusting people. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not, right? And so it's just like, what does that balance look like? And it's also hard from the marketer standpoint to earn your trust if the campaigns that I set in motion, you keep derailing. So that tug of war that I've seen within law firms more than any other industry is not fun.
So how systematized is your day? Like, are you following your own processes, or is it like meeting to meeting different each day? Like, how are you systematizing setting up your time?
In my mind, Tiffany, I'm very systemized. I do have a lot of meetings. I have some constants though, right? I think at CMO level, when you run a 5-person marketing department, you have a 50 plus law firm leadership team. There are things that you just can't systemize. But on Mondays, me and the marketing department are going to meet at 11 a.m. I don't move that. It is rare. I mean, I've probably moved that meeting twice this year. If I'm not there, somebody else from the marketing department runs it. On Fridays, the intake team is going to meet at 10 a.m. So they are like, yeah, they are. And then once a month, I am going to sit down with each member of the marketing department and then my intake director for their power meetings. So there are parts of my day or week that are very, very systemized. And then I think up out of the blue, we are going to do ice cream trucks at firehouses, mental health buildings, schools as teachers go back. And then we got like 3 of those in a week. And I'm like, we're gonna just go on a tour and have fun and get good PR behind it and things like that. So I still like as much as I'm, downplaying creative, I still very much so am a creative and want to take advantage of a good opportunity. Because if you're too systemized, if you're too rigid, you don't allow yourself to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented. So I'm probably 50-50. I'd be interested in what my team would say, but I'm probably 50-50.
Part of me feels like just completely disorganized, but also I'm very organized
Right.
because I do some of the same things each week. And really, like, that's the funny part of owning my own business, the small little company, is I still very much work. I mean, I work longer than 9 to 5. I work like 8 to 5 or something like that. And sometimes like an hour or two in the evenings if there's something I want to get done. And so, like, this entrepreneurship for me still feels like a job because I'm a CMO. I'm a CMO for firms and I'm, a business owner and I just have so many things I have to touch on. And I have to have systems to be able to do it all. And maybe some of these systems I take for granted because I've been using them for so long. And so for me, like, it just happens.
Right.
And some of the things I'm like super proud of. Oh, well, I mean, honestly, one thing that I'm proud of is simple is this note taker that I have, right? And it creates automatically, like with its AI doodad, creates action items for me. And I have like an automation set up to where, depending on who I'm meeting with, the client, those action items will be sent directly to my project management board. And so a lot of time I don't have to take meeting notes. After the meeting, I just go back to the project board and start assigning and delegating out. And it's, saves a few steps, but, and then
Yeah.
also the project board has automation to where if I give it a little bit of information on the product, it'll create like a full project description, action items, checklist, all this
That's
stuff.
good.
I mean, I really do love these AI systems. And so, like, you build those things and start to take it for granted that they're working behind the scenes. But I'm super proud of those, and I live by them because you have to when you're doing so much. You're meeting tons of people. You're managing like 5 people, right, or more than that.
Um, it is 4 technically
Oh,
right now. 3.5. We have someone part-time and then there's a 3-person intake team. Yes, 7 altogether.
yeah.
Right.
I thought you were partly managing intakes at least.
Yeah, I am.
Um,
I manage marketing and intake.
well, just because I'm curious, like you said, you meet with each person once a month to go over their power meeting. Like, what is that? What are you doing in that one?
Sure. So we look at their numbers for the month. Everybody has numbers and reports that they are responsible for. So we talk about the anomalies, good, bad, or in between. We talk about what they have in their marketing action plan, what got done the month before, what they're working on, and are they prepared to handle the month after. And then a good chunk of the meeting, if the meeting is 45 minutes, because they're not terribly long. Let's say the meeting is, to make it even, let's say the meeting is an hour. 30 minutes is them looking for approvals or like they are spitballing, hey, look, this is what I want to do with this campaign. Do we have resources for X, Y, and Z? Could I have some money? Can you reach out to that one person that does blah? You know what I mean? Like, kind of, I'm in the middle of this campaign and now I need my boss to help. It's a good chunk, and which helps because they, instead of them coming in all day, interrupting their work day, they're not interrupting my work day. That's what I'm here for. But stopping in mid work, they bring it all to me at once. But those are really, really good meetings.
Yeah. And so you do team meetings once a week?
Hmm.
Team meetings once a week. You're doing power meetings with each individual once a month,
Hmm.
and then meeting with the SEO team every 2 weeks, you said? Oh.
Yes.
You're also doing like leadership meetings?
Yeah, I'm on the leadership team. That's once a week for 90 minutes every Tuesday.
So just out of curiosity, because I know a lot of law firms are different, but what percentage of those leadership meetings are about marketing versus everything else?
Not a lot are about marketing. And it's so we follow EOS system. And one of the things about EOS is it's only a leadership problem or issue, I'm sorry, if it involves three or more people for our size leadership team. And most of the marketing gets handled between me and my boss, Jim. However, one of the things that he put on the issue list to discuss is why don't we discuss marketing more? And we have, it's not that we haven't, it's not that we have not. It's just we get in there and I'm trying to solve for X, and X is a really complex issue. Like, hey, we need more A cases in the door. And then I have this large data set in my mind, and I have all of our media, our marketing mediums, and they're like, yeah, Cass, I think you got it. I think you got it. And not even that's not even like a it's not like a pat on my back as much as it is I'm waist deep. But we have IDS, some marketing things. But to answer your question, not a lot.
Oh. I mean that almost kind of makes me nervous. The boss saying like, "Why don't we talk about marketing more?" Because the thought that comes to my mind is like, "Well, what do you want to talk about?" I mean, I record this podcast every week. I can talk endlessly about marketing. And are we having a casual conversation? Is there a specific problem, or is just the question like, we want more growth? How do we get it? And that last one is, I feel like the question that's on when they say we want to talk marketing more often is the question that's on their mind. They just want to see something new, something bigger, something groundbreaking. But like, you don't get there by, I don't know. I feel like you don't get to the groundbreaking idea in meetings, I guess. I mean, maybe you do. Like, I guess that's hard to say, but you I don't know,
That's
like the notion of a marketing idea, like we get so in the weeds with these systems and processes. Like sometimes an idea is like, oh, let's turn on lookalike audiences for this Facebook ad campaign and see if it performs better. And then you do, and it does. And it's like, great, that was a great idea. And then sometimes an idea is like, let's do an ice cream truck tour, which is adorable. I love that. And then, that's great too. And then, or an idea is let's do TV. In my mind, they're just like very few mediums in which we can reach our client. And like, we're just limited in what they'll respond to, where we can advertise, what we're allowed to say.
right.
And I mean, I guess what'll actually get results and what'll get clicks. And so I don't know, like I often struggle with like, oh, let's get more marketing ideas. I'm like, what kind of ideas? Like, what do you,
No,
how big? Like, how big we talking here?
No, you're right. The idea that this grandiose marketing idea can come out of a marketing meeting, I don't know if it's ever happened. It's been in those spaces where we are in deep work, like something new, because we are limited in mediums, but no new strategies, but a new big tactic. I mean, like vote for a school, the one I was talking about earlier, that came, I was up and I wish I had the timestamp on the note, if I remembered it. It was like 1 a.m. and I was like, this is the goal. This is a strategy, and this is how we're gonna get there. And yeah, it is our biggest one, but it's still a tactic. But it took me like in deep thought for a while by myself, going, ping-ponging ideas. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That could work. But somebody does have to be waist deep to really be a part of the conversation.
Yeah. When you said let's talk marketing systems, like what did you have something specific in mind that you wanted to go over?
I think we've covered it in ways. I just think that there should be an appreciation for the ops side of marketing. You look at something as simple as referral marketing, right? Like attorney referral marketing. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna get attorney referrals. How? We're gonna do an ad in VLW. Cool, that's one thing. You know what I mean? Like our attorney referral, it's half marketing, half intake. So it literally involves multiple departments. If you include the attorneys that it involves, it includes three departments. You know what I mean? And you think it's, oh, the attorney referral marketing program. Yeah, but does intake have the referral list so that they can refer out? Are we keeping track of when we give the attorney's gift so that we don't re-gift? What, like all of the pieces, then the reporting, are we sending the attorneys the right type of cases that they want? Are they sending us the right type of cases that we want? Who's taking who to lunch? How much have we made in referral fee? All of the things. So that was my, when we were talking about it on LinkedIn, it's just I want people to really appreciate the ops and the systems part of marketing because it's so important. That's what takes up all our time.
I agree so much. And I mean specifically with referrals, I feel like people think of referral programs like a letter or like a website or a landing page or an email sequence and automation. And it's like, no, like it's a lot of times spreadsheets
Mhm.
and keeping up with people, relationship building, making sure we're, like you said, showing appreciation, sending gifts, all that good stuff, and keeping track of all of it. And
Right.
I feel like when a lot of people ask for, like, I need a referral program, they have in mind a deliverable, not realizing it's a system of many moving parts that's so much bigger than just here are your more referrals or here's your referral program. There are things that I can do to help attorneys like better nurture their referral list, write a better newsletter, all that good stuff. But like, you still need the whole system. And as a
Right.
fractional, I'm just limited to what I can build.
Right.
And that's why I tell people you need an in-house marketing team, even if it's just like a coordinator or somebody for the small firms. Now for Cooper and Hurley, like obviously you guys need a full team, which is nice. Well, Cassie, I really appreciate you coming on the podcast and talking with me today. I was looking forward to speaking with you and talking to you again. And well, I guess where do you want people to look you up if they want to find you?
Sure. So if you're looking to send a Virginia injury referral, you can just go to cooperhurley.com. But if you want to see me talk all marketing, you can go to my LinkedIn. It's linkedin.com/ Cassidy the marketer.
Oh, really? That's a cool URL. I love that. Well, thank you so much again, and we'll be talking to you all soon.